The Senate will come to order. The Secretary will call the roll.
Senator Buck. Here. Senator Cannizzaro. Here. Senator Cruz Crawford. Here. Senator Daley. Here. Senator Donyate. Here. Senator Dondero Loop. Here. Senator Ellison. Senator Flores. Present. Senator Hansen. Here. Senator Krasner. Here. Senator Lang. Here. Senator Neal. Senator Wynn. Here. Senator Orenshaw. Here. Senator Pizzina. Present. Senator Rogish. Here. Senator Scheibel. Here. Senator Steinbeck. Here. Senator Stone. Here. Senator Taylor. Present. Senator Titus. Here.
Senator Cannizzaro.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please mark Senator Neal absent excused.
Thank you. Let the record reflect there are 20 senators present. Please rise for the prayer by Pastor Louis Locke, Foursquare Church, Carson City, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. Please join me in prayer. Lord, as we gather today, we give you thanks and praise because your mercies are new every morning, and your thoughts towards us are gracious, long-suffering, and abounding in truth and goodness. In the midst of the pressures and demands of this session, may we be reminded of King David's advice from Psalm 55, which says, "Cast all your burdens on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken." Grant us hearts that seek justice, minds that pursue truth, and hands that work for the benefit of all. As always, we ask you, Lord, to bless each senator, their family, and staff. In Jesus' wonderful name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order of Business 3, reading of the journal. By previous order of the Senate, the reading of the journal is dispensed with, and the President and Secretary are authorized to make the necessary corrections and additions. Order of Business 9, motions, resolutions, and notices. Senator Cannizzaro.
Thank you, Mr. President. Pursuant to Senate Standing Rule number 50, I am giving notice, and on the next legislative day, I will make a motion to withdraw Senate Bill 258 from the Committee on Commerce and Labor.
Thank you.
Senator Wynn has approved the addition of Senators Buck and Steinbeck as sponsors on Senate Bill number 165. Senator Wynn has approved the addition of Senators Buck and Krasner as sponsors on Senate Bill number 316, and Senator Taylor has approved the addition of Senator Krasner as a sponsor on Senate Bill 185. That concludes Order of Business 9.
Order of Business 10, introduction, first reading, and reference.
Senate Bill 345, introduced by Senator Daley, revises provisions relating to associations of self-insured employers. End of bill.
Senator Daley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to refer Senate Bill 345 to the Committee on Commerce and Labor.
Senator Daley has referred SB 345 to the Commerce and Labor Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, so ordered.
Senate Bill 346, introduced by Senators Scheibel, etc., makes various changes relating to guardianship. End of bill.
Senator Scheibel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to refer Senate Bill 346 to the Committee on Judiciary.
Senator Scheibel has referred SB 346 to the Judiciary Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, so ordered.
Senate Bill 347, introduced by Senators Scheibel, Cannizzaro, Dondero, Loop, and Pizzina, revises provisions relating to mental health crisis holds. End of bill.
Senator Scheibel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to refer Senate Bill 347 to the Committee on Judiciary.
Senator Scheibel has referred SB 347 to the Judiciary Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, so ordered.
Senate Bill 348, introduced by Senator Pizzina, makes revisions relating to health care. End of bill.
Senator Pizzina.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate Bill 348 be referred to the Committee on Health and Human Services.
Senator Pizzina has referred SB 348 to the Health and Human Services Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, so ordered.
Senate Bill 349, introduced by Senator Pizzina, revises provisions relating to anatomical gifts. End of bill.
Senator Pizzina.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate Bill 349 be referred to the Committee on Health and Human Services.
Senator Pizzina has referred SB 349 to the Health and Human Services Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, so ordered.
Senate Bill 350, introduced by Senator Orenshaw, revises provisions relating to the death penalty. End of bill.
Senator Orenshaw.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate Bill 350 be referred to the Committee on Judiciary.
Senator Orenshaw has referred SB 350 to the Judiciary Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, so ordered.
Senate Bill 351, introduced by Senator Buck, revises provisions relating to the statewide system of accountability for public schools. End of bill.
Senator Buck.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that SB 351 move to the Committee on Education.
Senator Buck has referred SB 351 to the Education Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, so ordered.
Senate Bill 352, introduced by Senator Scheibel, etc., revises provisions relating to health care. End of bill.
Senator Scheibel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to refer Senate Bill 352 to the Commerce and Labor Committee.
Senator Scheibel has referred SB 352 to the Commerce and Labor Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, so ordered.
Senate Bill 353, introduced by Senators Dondero Loop, etc., revises provisions relating to Medicaid. End of bill.
Senator Dondero Loop.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill, I would like to refer Senate Bill 353 to the Committee on Commerce and Labor.
Senator Dondero Loop has referred SB 353 to the Commerce and Labor Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, so ordered.
Senate Bill 354, introduced by Senators Stone, Orenshaw, and Scheibel, and Assemblymember Edgeworth, revises provisions relating to health insurance coverage of prescription drugs. End of bill.
Senator Stone.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to refer SB 354 to the Great Committee on Commerce and Labor. Thank you.
Senator Stone has referred SB 354 to the Commerce and Labor Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, so ordered.
Senate Bill 355, introduced by Senator Orenshaw, revises provisions governing partial abatements of taxes for certain renewable energy facilities. End of bill.
Senator Orenshaw.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate Bill 355 be referred to the Committee on Growth and Infrastructure.
Senator Orenshaw has referred SB 355 to the Growth and Infrastructure Committee. Any objections? Seeing none, so ordered.
That concludes Order of Business 10.
Order of Business 13, General File.
Senate Bill 96, introduced by Senators Krasner, etc., designates January 27th as International Holocaust Remembrance Day in the state of Nevada. The people of the state of Nevada, represented in Senate and Assembly, to enact as follows: Section 1 into Section 1.
Are there any amendments?
There are none. End of bill.
Senator Krasner.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 96 designates January 27 of each year as International Holocaust Remembrance Day in the state of Nevada.
Okay, it's now time for remarks from the floor. Senator Buck.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today in strong support of Senate Bill 96 because at a time when anti-Semitism is on the rise across our nation, and in particular at our universities, we must send a clear and unwavering message. Never again is not just a slogan, it is a call to action. We are witnessing a disturbing trend. Anti-Semitic protests have taken over our universities and college campuses. Jewish students are being harassed for simply existing. And across the country, we are seeing anti-Semites elected to public office, legitimizing the same hatred that led to one of history's darkest chapters. I know I stand in a chamber filled with elected officials who will send a clear message. The Nevada Senate stands with our Jewish students and friends and neighbors. Let me be clear, Holocaust remembrance is not just about the past, it is about our future. It is about ensuring that we will never allow history to repeat itself and harass, persecute, and kill people based on religion. Senate Bill 96 affirms our commitment to truth, to education, and to standing against hatred in all forms. I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting this bill and sending an unmistakable message that in Nevada, we will never tolerate anti-Semitism. Not now, not ever. Thank you.
Senator Orenshaw.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise in support of Senate Bill 96. Mr. President, growing up in Las Vegas, I had the opportunity to meet people very involved in Holocaust education. Edith Katz comes to mind. Later on, she married Judge Yarchiver. Edith Katz Yarchiver was tireless in her work, trying to make sure that students across Clark County and the state learned about the Holocaust and tried to make sure that this dark day in world history, dark period, was never forgotten. When I was a kid growing up in Vegas, I met survivors. We had a family friend who showed me the number tattooed on his arm. He'd survived a concentration camp in Nazi-occupied Europe. Those things stick in my mind, and I'll never forget. But my kids and future generations, they're not going to get to have those experiences to know what happened. So I really want to thank my colleague from Senate District 16 for introducing this bill, because it's so important that we never forget what happened in Europe in the 1930s and 40s, and we never allow anything like that to happen again. So I urge support of Senate Bill 96, and I think that if this passes, not only will we January 27th be recognized with the governor issue a proclamation, but I'm hopeful that students across the state, K through 12 and higher education, will also take a little time to remember what happened in Europe in the 30s and 40s, and never let that happen again. So I urge its support.
Senator Stone.
Colleagues, I rise in support of SB 96. Today we gather to ensure we remember one of the darkest chapters in human history, the Holocaust, to honor the 6 million Jewish men, women, and children, along with millions of others who were murdered by the Nazi regime. We should remember their names, their faces, their dreams, and the lives that they were denied. The Holocaust was not just a tragedy of the past, it's a warning for the present and the future. It reminds us of the dangers of hatred, intolerance, and indifference. The systemic persecution and genocide did not happen overnight. They began with words of division, policies of exclusion, and a world that too often looked away. It is not only about remembering, it's about responsibility. We are the voices for those who could no longer speak for themselves. We must ensure that history is never forgotten, that denial is never tolerated, and that the lessons of the Holocaust guide our actions. Let us commit to standing against anti-Semitism, racism, and all forms of hatred. Let us teach future generations the value of compassion and courage. Let us never forget that even in the face of darkness, the light of humanity can prevail. This Remembrance Day is very special to me. You see, 25% of my family were murdered by the Nazis in the ovens of Auschwitz. This day will enable us to honor the memory of the victims not only with just our words, but with our actions. Thank you to the Senator in District 16 for bringing this day forward so that we shall never forget.
Senator Pizzina.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to speak to Senate Bill 96 on a personal note. Some of you in the chamber know that one of my earliest childhood memories, when I was about 5 or 6 years old in the back of the car with my parents, was seeing my parents frightened, not understanding what was going on and thinking my parents were superheroes. I couldn't understand why they were scared. And when I looked out the front windshield of the car, I saw a large group of people in white robes and white hoods walking toward our car, marching toward us to ask for donations. I grew up in a small town south of Atlanta, and that was my first time seeing my parents scared. We're Jewish, and I didn't understand at that time what the KKK was or what that meant for my life. It's why, when I turned 11 years old, I started volunteering for local candidates because I felt voiceless, frightened, and alone, where not even my parents could protect me. Because of that, I've always wanted to be a voice for those in my community and for people to not only remember history, but ensure it doesn't repeat itself. Senate Bill 96, designating January 27th as International Holocaust Remembrance Day in the state of Nevada, is a step toward that, and a step toward remembering the 6 million Jews who were slaughtered during the Holocaust. Watching the rise of anti-Semitism in 2017 was why I ran for office again in 2018, and it's why I'm fortunate enough to be sitting in this chamber among my colleagues today. Thank you so much for bringing the bill, and I look forward to its passage.
Any further remarks? Secretary will open the roll. Anyone wish to change their vote? Seeing none, the Secretary will close the roll. The yeses are 20, the noes are 0. The bill has received a Constitutional majority is declared passed and ordered to the Assembly.
That concludes Order Business 13 and the business of the desk for this legislative day.
Order of Business 16, remarks from the floor, introduction of guests. Senator Krasner.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please stand, everybody, all 5 of you. Today, I am very fortunate to have so many guests. The first 3 here behind me are from the Carson City Chamber Leadership Institute. Brenda Grace Smith is the manager of sales and retention with Hometown Health. She loves Carson City. She believes learning about an area through a chamber-run leadership session is vital. Behavioral health and housing are her concerns. She volunteers for a variety of nonprofits in Washoe County. Amanda Marcucci is the superintendent of operations for Southwest Gas. She is a manages construction contracts, as well as making sure that gas pipelines are not leaking in northern Nevada and northern California. She has an engineering background, which helps her, and started with designing pipelines and water pumps. She is great at project planning. Food insecurity, housing costs, and job training are her top concerns. She lives in Nevada, and she resides in Senate District 16. Matt Smith is a lieutenant and jail commander for Carson City Sheriff's Office. Matt started his law enforcement career in 2004 with the Washoe County Sheriff's Office before joining the Carson City Sheriff. Today, he is the jail commander and department manager. He is married and they have a daughter. He is concerned about the driving habits of locals resulting in accidents and is advocating for better signage. He has been a resident of Nevada for 20 years and he lives in Senate District 16. And my other 2 guests over here are with Children's Week at the legislature, which you all know, this is Children's Week at the legislature. And today the focus is children's health. With me is Chelsea Bishop and Tawny Fortini. They're both with ACT for Kids, advocating for a comprehensive children's hospital for their community. Please join me in welcoming all of these guests today.
Senator Buck.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to introduce you to a friend and constituent of mine in SD5. Danielle Stevenson has been a Las Vegas native for over 3 decades. At 33, she became a first-generation college student, and while working full-time, went on to earn 2 other degrees. Now she's working on her 3rd. Danielle also works for City of Henderson as a senior technology project manager, leading departments through the implementation of new technologies, and she's earned the Henderson Innovation Program Award during her 10 years of service with the city. She further contributes locally by volunteering through employee volunteer programs and church missions. However, her generosity spreads beyond Nevada's borders, because her most favorite thing to do is international missions. She's helped build homes in Mexico and Honduras for families in need. In her free time, Danielle cares for her 2 rescue dogs, Tulum and Harley. She's staying at my house with her 2 wonderful rescue dogs and enjoys spending time with her family. So please join me in welcoming her.
Senator Scheibel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am joined by 2 very special guests this morning. Jackson, if you'd like to stand up first. This is my friend Jackson Mayer. He is a lifelong SD9 resident and a constituent of mine who I'm very pleased to have in Southwest Las Vegas. He's a 6th grader at Faith Lutheran Middle School, and he's been in Reno for the last few days with his school's business club, participating in the FBLA State Business Leadership Conference, which included middle and high schools from across Nevada Nevada. He's also interested in computers and participates in the Cyberpoint Club at school, which teaches kids about cybersecurity. He's a 3D printing and video game enthusiast, and most importantly, he is a great big brother to his younger siblings. We are very happy to have him here with us today, and if you would join me in giving him a warm welcome. You can sit. Yeah. Stand up. This other very, very special guest has been a friend of mine for more years than I can count. This is Monique Fierro. She is an accomplished attorney in Southern California, actually throughout California. She focuses her litigation practice in the area of civil rights. She's won incredibly important cases for her clients who include students with disabilities who aren't receiving the services they need at school, to people who've been victims of sexual assault and deserve restitution and justice in their cases. She is truly a champion for people who are underserved and under-recognized. She started her career at the California Rural Legal Assistance, where she worked with hundreds, if not thousands, of people who couldn't afford attorneys on their own. And since then, she has become the leader in her community. She runs the Women's Law Organization in Ventura County, and I know that she is well-loved and respected by hundreds of attorneys, clients, judges, and others, not just in the legal profession, but throughout the community. And I first met Monique when we went to college together at Stanford. She earned her undergraduate degree and her law degree at Stanford. And she's truly, I'm going to choke up, because she's truly been my best friend. I don't think there are many people that I can say this about, but she actually knows me better than I know myself. And I'm so, so honored that you can be here today and share this chamber with me. And I hope that you will all make her feel very, very welcome.
Senator Flores.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I may have Ramiro Lopez please stand, and Mr. Marcelo Gaete please stand. These are, not only do I have the fortune of calling them friends, but these are individuals who are actually shaping the marketing landscape in the state of Nevada. If you ever need anything, please reach out to them. They are absolutely amazing at what they do. They both represent Entravision. And just a little bit about Entravision. Entravision is a leader in Hispanic marketing, expertly serving local, regional, and national clients for almost 3 decades. They are the #1 Televisa Univision affiliate with 21 O&O stations, which includes Las Vegas and Reno. They connect with Latino communities every day by producing 4 local newscasts in each market with 100% editorial control. In radio, they have 49 O&O stations and a radio network of 300-plus stations. Entravision syndicates the nation's top shows and on-air talent such as Erasmo y la Chocolata and Piolín, and their portfolio also includes local events with a full spectrum of digital marketing solutions, including social media. If you could please join me in welcoming them to the chamber today.
Senator Daley.
Thank you, Mr. President. And because we don't have floor tomorrow, and tomorrow is 3/14, AKA Pi Day, so at the encouragement of my colleagues and friends. So I'm rising today in recognition of Pi Day tomorrow, celebrating one of the most important mathematical constants, pi. Pi is essential in business, labor, industry, playing a critical role in engineering, construction, aerospace, and countless other fields. It is also a foundation of STEM education, helping students develop the problem-solving skills that drive innovation, from the design of our infrastructure to technology in our hands. Pi touches nearly every aspect of modern life. So in this past week, in honor of Pi Day tomorrow, we've had Pi Week. Some of you have seen it, so I made pies for each day this week. So Monday was apple, Tuesday was key lime, yesterday was coconut cream, today is strawberry, tomorrow will be pecan. So we may argue over or debate our favorite flavors, but there's no doubt that the impact of pie itself, both the day and the dish. So let's take a moment to appreciate this remarkable number and maybe enjoy a slice of pie along the way. Thank you.
Senator Cannizzaro.
Thank you, Mr. President. That was very exciting. My colleague from Senate District 13, I think, gave his first floor statement, and we've been enjoying his pies all week that he has baked. In case anybody didn't know, that's his secret talent. So I am going to take just a moment to yet again talk just this Women's History Month about another one of our amazing women colleagues here in the Senate, in Nevada's first of the nation female majority legislature. And today it is our senator from Senate District 1, Senator Cruz Crawford. So you may know that she is currently serving her very first term here in the Nevada Legislature, representing Senate District 1, which includes the North Las Vegas area and Clark County, Aliante, the Craig Ranch neighborhoods, and Nellis Air Force Base. She is the chair of our Senate Committee on Natural Resources and serves on Education and Revenue and Economic Development. She attended the College of Southern Nevada High School before receiving both her bachelor's and master's degrees from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Before being elected to the legislature this last year, Senator Cruz Crawford served on the Nevada System of Higher Education's Board of Regents as a regent for District 8 for approximately 2 years. She is currently a school principal at C.C. Rano Elementary School in the Clark County School District. This school is unique in offering a Spanish dual language immersion program for students in kindergarten through 5th grade. As we can all see from her many comments here on the floor of the Senate, she is immensely proud, and she should be, of the work that her team is doing at that school. Go Rano Rams. She has taught kindergarten through college, and she has wide-ranging knowledge of public education at all levels. Her work has been recognized through various awards, including the Nevada Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents honoree and an Air and Space Commendation Medal. She was named the Public Education Foundation's 24th Annual Education Hero for her education advocacy work. My colleague certainly has what we, I think, are all now accustomed to, very boundless energy. Not only is she an elementary school principal and a tremendous legislator, but she is also a member of the Nevada National Guard. This military training, I am sure, has prepared her well for running her committee hearings, which I hear are done very efficiently and on time. Senator Cruz Crawford enjoys reading and spending time with her husband, Michael, and their 2 children, Lola and Gustavo, or whom she affectionately calls Goose. Her dedication to serving in the state of Nevada is evident, and I look forward to seeing the impact that she will make here. And so if you will all do me the honor of acknowledging our senator from Senate District 1. Okay. With that, Mr. President, I move that the Senate stand in adjournment until the hour of 11 a.m. on Monday, March 17th, 2025.
Thank you. You've heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.